This is a full and complete breakdown on how partnerships work in real estate investing for beginners. And if you like detailed videos like this, where I just dive in deep on a topic on social media, please like this and share this with a friend, because most people will not see it solely because it's educational, and those are hard to find. So what are partnerships? They're when you start working together with someone else to buy a property, to put it as simply as that. And there's multiple ways we'll do that. We'll talk about that next, and we'll talk about how it actually gets done. Why would you use them? A lot of people use them because they don't have a lot of cash. When I bought my first investment property, I used cash that I had, and I partnered with my dad and my brother to overcome a lack of a down payment. Sometimes you need to partner with someone because you can't qualify for a mortgage. That's your ability to secure financing. Other times you don't have the knowledge, so you might have the money and you partner with someone who has the knowledge, like me. Or you might have experience for the same thing, or you might have time. You need all five to be a real estate investor. Partnerships can allow you to get more properties quicker. It's better to have something of one property than it is to have nothing of no properties. Why would you not use them? Because you might have personality conflicts between you and the other person. You might have different expectations of how someone likes to work. Like, I had a partnership with a friend who didn't work as hard as I did, and so it didn't really work out. I was expecting him to work a lot and he wasn't. Another scenario is you'll have to compromise on everything. When you make decisions as a partner, you're going to have to talk to your other partners about what gets done. Another scenario is that your decision making is going to be slower. You can't just decide on your own. You typically need to consult the other person. This is why it's better when you have silent partners, like I let other people do with us in my company. Another con is that you'll have lower profits. You're going to be splitting your profits with someone else. But again, it's better to have some profits than it is to have no profits. Other issue is that you're legally responsible for other people when they make mistakes. You still own the part of the company, and if the company does something wrong, you are someone who's going to have to pay for the mistakes. And then lastly, your taxes are more complicated. And don't ask me questions about taxes, please, because that's not my specialty. Now, there's 4 typical types of partnerships that happen. First up, you have full equity partnerships. This is when you are someone that has time and knowledge or experience to buy real estate, and you partner with someone who has cash to buy the house. Typically, the way this works is you do all the work and the other person's completely passive, and you do some form of split, like a 50-50 would be an example. Another scenario is a down payment equity partnership. This is the same as the last one, except instead of having all the cash for the house, the cash person ends up having the funds for the down payment and typically the ability to get a loan. This again would be done with a 50-50 split, and typically you'll either put legal title in both of your names or under the LLC partnership that you've created. Next up is a private lending partnership. This is what you hear on social media when people talk about private lenders. It's not necessarily a partnership, but you do partner together. This is when the cash provider, the person with the money, gives money to the investor at a solid interest rate, like 12%. The cash partner gets a lien on the property to make sure that the person who they just gave the money to doesn't run away, and they create a promissory note. This can be just cash for the entire house, or the private lender could be someone that funds the down payment for the other person. And then lastly is a credit or financing partnership. This is where one person provides their ability to get a loan. For example, if you have a W-2 job, you might be able to get a loan better than someone who doesn't. And so you can partner with someone who doesn't have a job and get equity in the house for giving your ability to get a loan and using your income to qualify. Or if you have tons of experience, it's easier for you to get a hard money lender or a private lender to buy a property. And so you might be the one that partners with someone who might have the money for the down payment. Those are the 4 types, but how does it actually get done? First, you need to sit down and figure out what of the 5 resources in real estate you have. Either you have knowledge because you've been reading books, you have time because you don't have a job, or maybe you don't have kids, maybe you have money because you've been saving money from a job or a business, maybe you have the ability to get financing because you have a job or solid income, or you have experience, which is even better than all the rest. Then you need to figure out what you don't have most of. So a lot of people have knowledge and time, but they don't have ability to get funding and money. And there's a bunch of people who have a bunch of money, but don't have the experience or the time. And so you need to find someone who has the exact opposite of what you have. And so you're gonna start by telling people that you've been learning about real estate investing and you've been looking at some properties. Never ask for money up front. Just try to build relationships by talking about it. The ones who are interested will ask to hear more. I'm doing this right now as I'm talking to you. I'm providing you value by teaching you about how partnerships work, and down the line, you may want to partner with me and my team to help buy a property and work together on it. Now, if they seem interested, like they're asking you follow-up questions, then you're gonna find out what that person is looking for. Meaning, what kind of return are they looking for? Do they want debt or equity? What is their outcome that they're looking for in this property? What kind of returns? Then from the start, you're gonna set expectations in writing. I made this mistake with a friend and I lost out on a deal that's probably worth $1.2 million today because I didn't have anything in writing. You're gonna talk about how much money will be put in by what person, and you'll have timing on when you're planning this whole thing out, who's gonna have what responsibilities. And step 7 is you're gonna look for an amazing deal. Step 8 is when you find the deal, you're gonna match that deal with someone in your network that you've discussed this about. And this is hopefully going to match what they're looking for that you found in the previous steps. Then step 9 is you're gonna talk to a lawyer and CPA about setting up the right partnership structure. The way I typically do it is an LLC is created in the state, but again, please consult the lawyer and CPA. And then step 10 is buy the home, execute on everything, and then make the profits together. Hit the follow button for more tips for beginner real estate investors.